Hey Becky, this is the refresher video I promised. If you notice, there's a lot of stuff on my screen here. You just have to ignore that. But I've made a special cursor, or mouse cursor, so you can see it's got a little arrow that's got a red circle around it, so you can tell where it is more easily. Also, if I click, you'll see that each time I click, it has a burst of red there. If I double click, it'll have 2. If I press and drag, it'll have a solid red circle. Anyway, easier way for you to see the cursor where it is. So let me look at the assignment here. It looks like the restart the computer and the power on and off. That's probably don't have to cover that because I assume you know how to do that. I can see the download images. We'll take a look at that. So we open a browser. Now all of my little browser or application icons are on the right side here, where yours are down at the bottom. I have Windows and the Mac operating system both on this laptop, and I use the bottom for the Windows icon, and I reserve the right side for the Mac icon. So anyway, mine on the right side. But if we open a browser, you'll be using Safari, which looks like that. You just scan across the bottom until you find the one that looks like this, and you click on it, and it'll open Safari. Then up in the right, or up where you enter the URL. Oh, by the way, URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, and that's the term URL for a website address or anything you want to search for on the web. If you just type in a word there, it'll do a search. If you type in a website address like a .com or something, then it'll go to that website. So anyway, what we're going to do is type in the word cats. Going to find some images here. So just type in the word cats and hit return, and it'll pull up just everything it can find in the way of cats. But what we're interested in is images, so we go over to the right a little bit here where it says images. We click on that, and it'll display only the images it finds for cats. A lot of them here. So what I had you do, and we can either download the thumbnail that comes up. This is like what do you call it, a gallery of all the images it found. You can click on one, it'll enlarge it, and you can download the larger version, or you can stay back on the gallery and download the smaller version. Either way works. Either way, it's done the same way. You hold down the control key. Now on this video, you can't see the control or the keyboard, but anyway, I think you know where the control key is. Just hold it down and then click on the image, and it'll bring up a list of options. Now, a lot of the things I've had in this assignment are really generic operations. No matter what window you're in or where you are, they're kind of generic. Anytime you focus on something, as far as you click on an image or you click on a document or whatever, you can hold down the control key and click, and it'll pull up a list of things you can do with that thing you've selected, whatever it is. In this case, we selected an image, and we want to download it, so we click on Save Images to Downloads, or we can click Save Image As, and it'll let you give it a name before you download it. But we'll just say save it to Downloads, and it'll save that little image to Downloads. Then, see, let me look at the assignment here, see what. Okay, let's save a couple of these. Let's get a bigger one here and save it. Download image. And you click on the X in the upper right-hand corner to get rid of the bigger picture. Take you back to the gallery. We'll just get 3. Control click, save image to downloads. Okay, so we got 3 of them. Now we want to open the Finder window, which is in my laptop is upper right corner here for Finder, using the lower left corner. Anyway, you click on Finder to open it, and we want to select downloads. On the left side in your Finder window, you'll have a location for downloads. So you click on that, and we've got those 3 that we just downloaded. The sort to the top because you clicked on date here. I mean, it comes up by default sorted by date. So you have those 3 there. And what we want to do is, well, let's try renaming one because this one says unknown. Let's see here. Look at something. Yeah. The first one, or the last one, I guess that was we downloaded, says unknown. So let's rename it to something. If you click on it once, and then before too long, click on it a second time, it'll let you type in a name. If you click twice real fast, it would try and open it. But if you click and then wait a little bit and then click a second time, it will open the window, or open a little window here to let you type in a name. So let's just type in cat. Oops, wait a minute. Cat dash renamed. Okay, and then you click outside of it, and it'll just accept that name. Well, I should have put JPEG after it, and I didn't. See, it's what still. Yeah, it's. I better rename it. Put a JPEG JPG. You see that? That means it tells the computer it's an image. So let me just rename it again and add a suffix of .jpg. Otherwise, it's going to get confused. Okay. Now we got them all 3 named, and the next part of the assignment was to open 2 Finder windows and resize here. That's the reason I put in this resize and moving them around and all that. See, every window you open, no matter what it is, it's an image or a Finder window or a Word document or a spreadsheet, whatever, it'll have a gray bar at the top. If you can hold down the mouse and drag on that bar, and it'll move the window around. And that doesn't matter what window you have open, it'll move it around. It doesn't have to be a Finder window, it can be any. So that's a generic thing for both Windows and the Mac operating system. Another thing that's generic is the resizing it by you hold the cursor over the right edge and it'll change to a double arrow, and you can just resize it any way you want, back and forth. And that's true with any window. Doesn't matter if it's a Finder window or what window it is. And another thing I'm going to add here is that the lower right corner is where you can grab that and resize it in 2 dimensions here. You can make it really tiny or keep holding it down and drag it bigger, so you can resize the window any way you like by doing that. And that's true for any window. All right, I've got a second one already open here. You can also drag the left side or the right side, either way works. Okay, and I want to, where am I? I'll just I'll get into Tanya here. This Tanya's the name of my daughter. This used to be my daughter's laptop, the one that passed away 3 years ago. And I just left all of her tracks alone because I didn't want to change anything. So anyway, I will create a new folder here, file, a new folder. I'll call it Becci. Hit return. And we have a Becci folder now, and I'll open that. Now I'm going to move all three of these images that we just downloaded over to Becci. So I click on the first one to select it, and hold down the Shift key, and click on the last one, and it selects them all three. And I can hold down the mouse now and drag them all three over to the new Becci folder we just created. So I'll do that. Hold down the Shift key, or the mouse key, and drag them all over, and as soon as I let up, it'll transfer them over. Okay? That's how you do that. Now you can select, that's a way to select the whole list of things. You can select them individually and move them, or hold down, I think it is the Command key, and select another one. Yeah, it's the Command key. So now we got two of them selected, but they're not one right after the other. We can hold down the mouse button on either one of the two and move them around also. So you can move them one at a time, or select the whole list of them, move them, or select them individually. Select them individually by holding the Command key and clicking the ones you want, or the Shift key and selecting the whole list, the first and the end, or just click on one individually and select it. Anyway, okay, I think I'm getting repetitive here. That's the way we move them from one place to another. And, you know, I think I've told you before, this Finder is really just a way for you to locate information that you have on the disk inside the computer. No matter what it is, you can double click on it and it'll open it. So you double click on the name of it, and it'll open that file, whatever it is. You double click on another one, and it'll open it. And we'll do the same thing with the third one. Now they're all three open. This is the larger one we downloaded. So you can click on the upper left corner with a little red dot, closes the window. Let me open that again and show you something else. There's a few things I'll show you that aren't on the, is this the big one? Yeah. That aren't on the lesson, but they're pertinent here because they're all generic. You notice this red dot where you can use to close a window. There's two other little dots here, a green one and an amber one, I guess you'd call it. Frequently, when you have a window open, you want to make it bigger, or you want to just focus on that window. So one thing you can do is click the green button, and it'll make it full screen. It'll take up the whole screen with that window, whatever is in that window. One way to make a kitten look scary, I guess. Now the way to get those little buttons back is to hover over the upper left-hand corner where they were, and the thing will appear. And you can click the green button again, and it'll go back to the same size. Now the little amber button, what that's for is to just get it out of the way and put it on your icon bar for a while. So if you click the amber button, it just gets real tiny and goes down here. See, it's right here on the application menu. You hover over the little icon, and it'll display the name of the file that you got hidden there. So you can just store it there until you want to look at it later. Or if you click on it again, just click on it, and it'll reopen it. All right. Now it's true for every window. It doesn't have to be a picture. It can be a Word document, a spreadsheet, a Finder window even. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's a window that's open, you can click on it. Why is it staying like that? I don't know. Anyway.